I am a little bit irked at how some pro-Ukraine YouTubers who I otherwise adore have covered the Epstein files and now the Iran war. Let's look at a couple Epstein file videos and you tell me what you think.
State, but rather of a man obsessed with proximity.
Whoops, let's try that again.
Exploited this. We don't know, and this is something we will not learn from Epstein files.
The picture that emerges is not of a super spy executing a covert mission given to him by the state, but rather of a man obsessed with proximity to power, whose main loyalty is to himself. And in writing that sentence,
So, main loyalty to himself. Excuse me, Madam Journalist. I know the Cave Independent, whom I donated to in the past, prize themselves on their journalistic integrity. How do you know that he was in it for himself? Like, how? Like, I want to see the evidence, and I want to see a thoughtful consideration of the counter evidence.
I realized that I said something nearly identical last week about Elon Musk, and you can take from that what you will. This pattern of ingratiation with elites on Epstein's part was not unique to Russia. The same logic that can paint him as a Russian asset has also been applied by those calling him an Israeli asset.
Okay, so some say Russia, others say an Israeli asset. What do we really know? I don't like it. I don't like it because she's ignoring a mountain of evidence that's hard to talk about, and we need journalists with integrity to talk about it. Here is Professor Gerdes. Adore him. He's done fantastic work exposing Russian propaganda and pointing out the very thoughtful, logical case for Ukraine, which I think is true and good. But here he goes on the Epstein connection, and in his defense, he's reading someone else's work. But again, this is what he chose to read.
Epstein could have worked for the KGB and been part of a large-scale blackmail operation, according to the Daily Mail. Could have. We don't know that it's established yet, but just let's listen to the story. The materials contain thousands of references to Moscow and Putin. That's true. I've verified that.
It's true, and both his coverage and the Cave Independence coverage have gone over that. Russia's ubiquitous octopus of intelligence services did seem to be operating through Epstein. They also talked about references to Ukraine, which were number one, talking about modeling agencies, a couple in particular, and Epstein making a conversation about who is this Zelensky guy who burst onto the scene with his election victory. Oh, and speculation about purchasing property in Western Ukraine. So they did a good job covering what was actually in there, because Russian propaganda was saying that, oh, Zelensky had this intimate relationship with Epstein. He was part of it, which isn't true at all. But let's keep going. That's not the part that irks me. So they do a good job covering, Russia and Ukraine. But then when it comes to our greatest ally,
that was some AI. The publication sources in the intelligence community claimed that Epstein could have led one of the world's largest operations to compromise influential people acting in the interest of the Soviet and Russian special services, as well as presumably Israel.
Acting in the interest of Soviet and Russian special services, and maybe also Israel. Just to give you an idea of why this irks me, it's articulated very well by Bassem Youssef, because integrity, man. Like, part of what Ukraine is fighting for is a system that has some semblance of integrity and accountability. So his satire here does a good job of pointing out the absurdity.
The evidence is there that he is actually a Russian asset. His girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, was the daughter of a Mossad super spy. He was represented by you, Mr. Israel's favorite lawyer, who you're also a lawyer to the Mossad, which, of course, everything you tell us will be true. Ehud Barak was his place the whole time. He fled to Israel when he was charged with sex crimes, and he was pictured wearing an IDF shirt. He was funded by pro-Israel fanatics. He worked for the Rothschild. He donated to pro-Israel student groups. He was responsible for the Wagner's group's pro-Israel philanthropy. He supported Israel settlement projects. His friends were all Zionists. He referred to us as Goyim. He was involved in Israel diplomacy effort. He brokered security deals with Israel, and even a former Israeli intelligence officer, Ari Ben Menashe, like Mr. Ryan Grimm said. He said he ran a honeypot for Israel. So yes, of course, he was definitely a Russian spy. Makes sense.
Yeah, hey, big shout out to Combat Vet News. Loves this guy. He's taken great steps to preserve his integrity. He has like a side business. He has his own donation website, so he's not beholden to Patreon. Unfortunately, in our world, you have to work hard to maintain your independence, and he's done that. And I love his takes both on Ukraine, on the Iran war. As I understand, he, like me, is an Iraq veteran, and I'm happy to have supported him. So check him out if you haven't already.